So after Elon Musk answered us the questions, or tried to answer us the question, where are the aliens?
It seems probable, but I think this is one of the great questions in physics and philosophy, where are the aliens? Maybe they're among us, I don't know. Some people think I'm an alien.
Let's dive into Tesla Sundays. Welcome to the most anticipated, most beloved, most famous Tesla series here on the whole internet. Every single Sunday here on this channel. And let me introduce you to today's topics. Obviously, we will talk about the Tesla stock, how it went this week. Then we will jump directly into the Gigafactory UK. Yes, you heard right. There are rumors that there is the next Gigafactory in, not anymore in Europe, but in UK. So then there is the Model Y delivery time and the slashing prices by Tesla on the Model S, 3 and X. Moreover, we will talk about the 700 million payday for Elon Musk, and also finally we will dive into the 7th July shareholder meeting of Tesla with very interesting topics. We will go into the agenda of the shareholder meeting, and then we will have an update on the Gigafactory Germany as well. So stay tuned, and here we go. This week, the stock of Tesla reached again a new recent high, $835 for one Tesla stock. If you just consider that about 3 months ago, mid of March, we were at 361, that's an interesting growth, guys. Okay, very interesting growth. But however, let's talk this week. This week, the first 2 days were pretty much flat. Then we dived a bit on Wednesday, and since Wednesday we came back about 6% to reach the week in the new high of $835. After hours it went even more up to $842.75. And no big news by Tesla, right? However, I gathered more interesting ones now here upcoming on Tesla Sundays. So the Department of International Trade in the UK is officially looking for a land for Tesla to build a plant for research development, but also for production. Well, this is unbelievable. This is great breaking news, because we know that this is the next step after Gigafactory Texas and Gigafactory Germany. And this is such an important part for Tesla stock, because it's the next step and next milestone. It's all about scaling now, scaling the right products, scaling the right products. So we know that the right products will create the demand and the future and the revenues that the company need to scale. So this is like a circle that need to be as soon as possible fueled with as much as energy and more scalability, because this is then the way for the $1 trillion company. However, let's talk about also what this brings to UK, because UK obviously will benefit, same as Germany, that 12,000 jobs will be created. And don't forget, Tesla, however it's sometimes, let's say, controversial, or Elon Musk is outrageous or to the point or direct, however you call it, still, it's a company that employs over 40,000 people worldwide. And this is absolutely brilliant. And I believe, especially in these times, that a company can thrive and scale is so important for the whole global economies and certain countries out there. So if you're planning to buy your Model Y, then you go just on the website of Tesla and just order it, right? As easy as it is. So you just press order now, then you choose your color and your range, and then you obviously go for the autopilot or full self-driving, and then you go next, and then you will see that actually the current delivery time is 4 to 8 weeks, guys. This is an increase. This means that there's a lot of demand for the new model of Tesla. So this can be anticipated. You know, I love to always look into the delivery times because this gives us a glimpse of the popularity and the demand and also the production, right? Because it can be both sides. It can be there's a lot of orders, there's a lot of demand, but there can be also problems on the production side. So never look only from one view, but always from different views as well on a single statement or fact. And therefore I believe that, you know, it's quite nice to see. You might heard it in one of my vlogs, this one, where I talked about the price strategy of Tesla now during this harder times. Economically speaking, also an innovator like Tesla need to fight a slower demand. Well, still I believe that the demand for Tesla will be relatively much stronger than traditional car manufacturers because of two things. First of all, obviously there's not much used Teslas on the market because these cars are so in demand and so valuable and so interesting for so many people that people, you know, are forced sometimes to go for a new one. Secondly, there's also the rush into the new models of Model Y, and as we know now, the Model Y has so much waiting time. It must say that the people out there are buying the new model quite significantly, and this is obviously very positive for Tesla. However, let's talk about the price strategy. Even though Tesla is such an innovator and sells cars in the internet and so on and so forth, still there is less and less demand because of the unknown situation in the economic markets. Now this is also hitting Tesla, and therefore a little bit 5 to 6% down in pricing, good for us buyers of new Tesla vehicles. Elon Musk might become the richest person on Earth. Now this will happen after his whole compensation plan will work out. Because this compensation plan is divided by milestones. It's an operational milestone, it's a revenue milestone, and also a huge valuation milestone. So as soon as he ticks some boxes that you can see in this graphic right now, as more money he get in forms of stock options. Stock options are options to get stocks at a certain point, and he need to hold those for 5 years, and therefore he don't have a salary right now. So Elon Musk, this is his own whole compensation. Obviously he has a big part of Tesla stocks already, and he is a huge shareholder already, but however, not only this brings him the $20 billion net value, he just showed us recently that he'd want to get rid of all his possessions, and his mission and vision for a sustainable future and multiplanetary species is on, guys. So he don't want to be attacked by some short sellers or other people that are negative infected to say, you know, he is doing it for the money or whatsoever. I'm also curious what he will do with the money once received in form of the Tesla shares. However, again, he cannot sell it for the next 5 years, so he got stuck with them, and maybe the 700 million, his first compensation part of this plan, will be worth soon maybe $3 billion. So the 2020 annual shareholder meeting will be set on the 7th of July 2020 at the Computer History Museum located at the 1401 Shoreline Boulevard, Mountain View, California. Well, there's also a webcast that we can see on the Tesla website. However, what is more interesting is the agenda, because if we are looking into the agenda of the shareholder meeting, we know already what the shareholder meeting is about, what need to be voted, because if you are a shareholder of Tesla, you could vote on this shareholder meetings what will be decided, and there is a pre-decision or pre-vote by the board of directors, including Elon Musk and some assorted people, and this is the following. So the first, there's actually 7 agenda points that we will go through real quick. So a Tesla proposal to elect 3 Class 1 directors to serve for a term of 3 years until their respective successors are duly elected and qualified. This is the board vote recommendation 4. A Tesla proposed to approve executive compensation on a non-binding advisory basis. This is something like, okay, they will get some advisories and then therefore they get some stock compensation, for example. And then they will have, and this is quite interestingly, a Tesla proposal to ratify the appointment of PwC, so PricewaterhouseCoopers LLP, as Tesla's independent registered public accounting firm for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2020. This is also 4. This means, I think this has something to do with all of this news about the accounting. Is it right or wrong about the accounting of Tesla? Is it fraudulent or not? So they said, let's take the audit of PwC, who just goes through the numbers and will, show the world that there's nothing fraudulent about the accounting. Moreover, there is a stockholder proposal regarding paid advertising. This is quite interesting. So apparently shareholders suggested, hey, if paid advertising will be interesting for Tesla, why not do it, in a certain form, if properly presented? So the board actually is against or recommend to vote against that, okay? A stockholder proposal regarding simple majority voting provisions in our governing documents, if properly presented. This is also against. A stockholder proposal regarding reporting on employee arbitration, if properly presented, also against. Then a stockholder proposal regarding additional reporting on human rights, if properly presented, also against. So you see all the by shareholders proposed things to vote on, the board is actually not a big fan of. Big good news from good old Germany. The German Umweltamt just released on Tuesday its go-ahead for the foundation of the Gigafactory in Berlin/Brandenburg. What does it mean? This means before even the timeline was suggested, Tesla can now build, undergrounds, pipe system, and the foundational structuring on the area and plot of the Gigafactory Germany. This is unbelievable, because this showing us again the fast going ahead of Tesla, even though we have seen that the European chief of Tesla just got fired, most probably because Elon thought, this must be faster, guys. This must be much, much faster. And therefore you see, even in Germany, where we know sometimes it's not so fast, you can go way ahead if you just have the right team and the right pressure. And Tesla can now build from Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 22 p.m. so 10 p.m. in the night, and build the German Gigafactory.